Good morning, afternoon, or evening. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for the energies of today. And I'm just going to give you a little bit about the energies of today. See, they're moving and flowing, and they're taking my camera with them. The astrological themes for today, and today is July 17th. Mercury retrograde begins tonight, and it's in Leo until August 11th. Everybody's always afraid of Mercury in retrograde, but what I heard about the retrogrades is that it's all about reflecting and going in and not trying to do so much on the outside, but really doing the internal work. So there's a half moon in Aries. It's a pull between action and emotional support. It's guiding you to take courageous steps, but not making impulsive moves. For the Mercury retrograde, you can expect communication misfires, delays, and nostalgia. For me, that's showing up as, how can I fully integrate the past and honor it, and so that I can close that door, or just it's really about integrating. I think it's about embracing it all and becoming larger and allowing my consciousness to expand, including everything from the past, not trying to push it away, really honoring it, honoring the gifts of it, and allowing myself to expand beyond it. So it's good for revisiting unfinished projects and reconnecting with people and our past, and honoring and integrating our past. And then we have Saturn in Pisces, which is bringing us lessons around boundaries, emotional depth, and karma. And it's a period for integrating structure into the ethereal realm. So for me, that speaks to creating space for what's important for us. So planning into your schedule things that you feel are important, not just I have to go to work from 9 to 5, but what matters to you, what's important to you. And it's likely some kind of creative project or creative expression. That needs to be valued just as much, if not more, as the things that you have to do. Because we're moving into this co-creation, and if you can start to do that, the universe, God, life is going to support you in that and carry you forward into that. So we need to anchor into a daily rhythm of what we want. Like, start your day with what matters to you. If it's meditation, if it's taking walks in nature, if it's spending time with your dog, your children, put that first. If it's your poetry, if it's your painting, if it's your writing. Sorry, my washing machine is on. I did say that everything means something, so clean it out. Clean out that stuff that doesn't matter to you and bring in the stuff that does. Put that first. And what are you willing to hold for other people, and what are you not willing to hold for others? You need to, that I think relates to my washing machine. Clean it out. Clean out what doesn't matter to you anymore. I'm also working on that sort of practice, like going through my stuff, because I moved everything with me, just like without, really looking at it. There was just so much, like a lot of emotional memories, like a lot of unfinished projects. What do I want to keep and move forward in? And what do I want to let go? And that's not important to me anymore. That was important to me, and I'm integrating it into me, and it will always be a part of me in its essence, but this I don't need anymore. So we really do keep the essence of everything. What we're letting go of is what we don't need, kind of the garbage, the waste that we don't need, but we keep the essence of everything that we've taken in of value. Really everything. I'm a big believer in you can't throw anything away, and I don't mean like things. I mean parts of yourself. You cannot get rid of any part of yourself. Every part of you is worth loving. Okay, structure, creative flow, making time for your creativity. And then the inner union with the masculine, which is healthy boundaries and containment. So whatever matters to you, you're going to put boundaries around that. And you're not going to allow anyone to push that. That is important to you, and you're going to stand up for it. You're going to speak up for it. And you're going to just keep getting pressure to do that. So some journal prompts that you can use are, where am I being called to take responsibility for my emotional life? And what part of me is asking to grow up, spiritually, emotionally, or practically? And it's funny because that is the, we're going to do the archetype cards now, but that's actually the archetypes, and the cards that I got yesterday were about taking responsibility and letting go of ego. So we are moving into a more soul-aligned love and more soul-aligned work, and the feminine are leading this. So whether you identify as feminine or you identify as masculine, it's this feminine energy that's leading. And the masculine is supporting and helping us to go deeper inward. So I've been listening to this woman, I really like her. I'm trying to remember her name. Soul something, but her name is Kat. And she talks about true flames. That true flames are, or twin flames, sorry, are flames that have the same resonance, or something like that. Anyway, in the twin flame relationship is a call for the masculine to keep directing the feminine inward, and that is what's going to lead. That is the power that's going to step forward and lead. But the masculine supports that, and it's just this really cool new way of relating. It's very exciting. Anyway, I'm talking too much about something that I don't know enough about. So I'm going to just do the archetype cards. So I did another video today about the energies, and the other video that I did was do you try to fix your partner, and what that says about you and what that says about your relationship. Because we are starting to, my work is all about balancing the inner feminine and masculine, and healing those inner wounds and integrating them. Because that's what we want to do, so that on the outside we get the kind of relationship that we want. We have to do that inner work first. And what needs to be rebalanced is the feminine. The feminine essence and energies have not been valued. So we need to value them in ourselves and heal them in ourselves, so that we can see that healing out in the world. That's what's going to heal the world. Okay, so I'm going to pull some cards from the Carolyn Mace archetype cards. We got the mediator. The Virgin. And the child orphan. Okay, so these are the energies that we're looking at, the archetypes. And we're going to alchemize them so that we can use the power of these archetypes to guide us inward into our own healing. So the mediator has the light attributes: gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. And the shadow is negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. And then we have the Virgin. The light attributes are maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, and the shadow attributes are fear of intimate union. The child orphan is light attributes are independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. And the shadow attributes are feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. Okay, so we can get caught up in these shadow energies, but what we're going to try to do is use the gifts of them and bring out the gifts of these. That's how we integrate. So that's kind of what I was viewing as I move from being a therapist to a coach. I'm using these things that I learned in order to become more light and become more open and more expansive and inclusive. So gifts for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument, being able to see both sides. And then the Virgin is maintaining the symbolic purity of heart and spirit, knowing that we are spirit and we are pure and we are human. So we have to balance that. And maybe that's the mediating between our human needs and our spirit. And then the child orphan is, we did learn all these strategies. A lot of us learned strategies to survive, and we're going to be able to use those to actually thrive. Okay, so I'm going to take some cards from the Light Seers Tarot. This is the Light Seers Tarot. And see if we can get a little more information on the mediator, the Virgin, and the child orphan. So the child orphan also has feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation. We are learning to not abandon ourselves and take responsibility for our own life and our own health and our own happiness. And I'm particularly talking to the women out there or people that identify with the feminine. This is the work that we need to do. I'm actually feeling a little heaviness right here. I usually carry grief around the collarbone, so that might be coming up for you, some grief. Okay. Oh, and I'm yawning. Letting go of that toxic energy. Okay, we got the High Priestess. So it's about listening to our intuition. What is your intuition telling you, and how is that showing up in your body? Oh, we got the Tower. Everyone's afraid of the Tower. You know, I'm afraid of the tower because I had a tower. And, you know, towers aren't fun. Towers are the end of something, like the crumbling of something, something falling apart, something that we thought was solid. But just like I said in the beginning, we're going to maintain, the essence of that will always be with us. We will keep that essence. That essence stays in our heart. And we can have gratitude for that, and we can honor it, whatever it is. And then we can move forward with what is real and what is true for us right now. So after we got the Tower, we got the Six of Wands. We got it upside down, so I'm going to read that too. So I'm going to read the High Priestess. Letting on. Letting go. Yawning is like the letting go of old, stale energies. So that's what we're doing. There's some old, stale energies we need to let go of. So the High Priestess light seer side is dreams, powerful visions, psychic insights, serendipity, meditation, introspection, intuition, and spiritual experience. And the affirmation is, I have the answers I seek, and by following the truth, I will find them. So your intuition is telling you something. Are you listening to it? Or, because if you're not listening to it, you will have a tower moment. So if you want to avoid that tower moment, you can go with the flow and you can listen to your intuition and flow with it, communicate with it, have that relationship. So I'm gonna talk about the Tower. And I just want you to notice with the Tower, see there's stuff crumbling down, but look at all the life around. That's the essence. The essence of it will keep. When I was having my spiritual awakening and I realized I needed to get a divorce, I asked God, what is real? And God said, your love is real. And then I got further information that I would receive that love back. All that love that I put out for other people, I would be getting that love back. And that was really the essence of what I was looking for. Okay, so the Tower is unexpected change, chaos, the rug pulled from beneath your feet, beliefs challenged, new awareness and perspectives, destruction, being unsure of who you are. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was saying. Like, I didn't know, like, what is real? If this wasn't real, what is real? And you will be shown that. So although the Tower seems really scary, it's bringing you what you really want. So have courage, take courage, get the support that you need, and you will get through this and you're going to come out better on the other side. And even the process of it, because it's a tough process, but it's also really beautiful, and you just learn so much trust and so much like reverence and respect. And you really see that you're not alone, that Spirit or God is there with you the whole way. And that's so cool. Okay, I'm looking for the Six of Wands. Okay. You can see that that's like victory. It's upside down though, so I'm going to read the shadow side. Not seeing eye to eye, pessimism, resentment, and self-doubt, a desire for acknowledgement, a desire for acknowledgement. But see, you have to do that work yourself. You have to acknowledge yourself. What you're doing is you're looking, this is what I'm getting from this, you're looking outside of yourself for these things, and you need to look inside. You can acknowledge and validate and care for yourself, and that is the work that we need to do. So you might be in a relationship where you're not seeing eye to eye with the person, where you don't want the same things anymore, and you're feeling a lot of pessimism and resentment and self-doubt because there's this part of you that says you need to choose the relationship. You're more loyal to the relationship. You're supposed to care for the relationship. That's not true. That isn't true. That's what we were taught. But it's not true. You get to be happy. You get to choose you and what makes you happy. And that's going to help everyone. That's going to heal the world and help the world and heal the masculine and heal the feminine. That is the key. Feelings of failure, comparison, what does that say? Comparisonitis, falling from grace. So I also felt this like very strange feeling of like, I had been loyal to my mother and that relationship with my mother, and I had been loyal to my husband and that relationship with my husband above myself. I had abandoned myself to be loyal to my husband and my mother. And I recognized that, but it felt like I was being disloyal by being loyal to myself and by not abandoning myself. It felt very strange, like everything I had been taught was wrong. And it felt really wrong at first, like to love myself, to choose myself, to put myself first, felt like I was letting everyone else down and I was being disloyal. It was a very strange feeling. And I'm still learning how to choose myself first, put myself first, but it feels so much better. And I see how when I do that, everything just aligns naturally and beautifully, and everything just flows, and it's not effort. I don't need to effort. I am worthy of this success, and I am grateful that I am seen. So we want to flip that shadow seer stuff into badass success, leadership, being in our power, that is, being in our power, accomplishment, being seen, becoming an influencer, victory, optimism, inspiring others. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle to get like what do we need to be doing right now? How can we align with this energy? Now that we know what's going on, how can we align this? And if we are going to have a tower, how can we make our tower less painful, less chaotic, less crazy? Okay. So we have mending. That's exactly what I was getting. For myself, the mending, like really like integrating and mending these parts of ourselves. So we don't have to worry about anybody on the outside. What we're mending is inside. 52. Forgiveness. We may be forgiving ourselves, making amends, healing after arguments. Each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. So maybe we're making excuses for other people. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal: the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, and to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. Okay, so maybe later I will offer some forgiveness practices for people, or if that's something that you're interested in, that is something that I do in coaching, help people with forgiveness. The Ho'oponopono is a really beautiful way of practicing that through song and prayer. It's like a song and a prayer together. So you might look that up on YouTube and find a version that fits for you and practice that. But it might mean also that you don't only speak up for yourself, but you make sure that the person that you're speaking to follows through with what you've asked of them. That was something I found in my own personal journey, is that I did speak up for myself. But when the other person still chose to either override what I said or disregard what I said, I didn't hold them accountable. I did try to hold them accountable, but I think holding accountable really meant that I withdrew. And that was really painful and hard for me to realize that I needed to do that for myself. So what is the hard thing that you need to do for yourself to honor your own truth and respect and acknowledge yourself and care for yourself? That's what you're being asked to do. If you need support, I'm going to be providing that very soon. I don't have my website set up right now, but I am willing to do, right now I'm willing to do tarot card readings and offer any kind of practices that I think could be helpful. So if you just like, subscribe, and put something in the comments for whatever you're needing support on, I'm happy to offer something via YouTube at this point, and eventually I will be able to offer personal coaching and probably group coaching and relationship coaching. Okay, be well. Choose you. You can thrive, and you deserve to be happy.